Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the loudest podcast in all of music, the MoshCast. And today we have a very special conversation with a band that all of us really, really love. You thought Conquer Divide was going to be a good episode? Just wait until we talk with these awesome people. First and foremost, let's introduce the people that will be talking to this band with me. First and foremost, she is a bit newer to the band. She just listened to the album with us for the first time. My co-host of the Cinematic Analysis, Madi.
What's up? Just like when we reviewed the record, I'm back in my scene era, but that's not really new. I've always been in it. I'm really excited, but also very nervous at the same time. So bear with me, but I'm very excited. I really enjoyed the record, and I'm excited to talk to you guys. So
yes. Next up, he is our resident sleepyhead, and I'm surprised he's up this early. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the loudest podcast of all fucking music, the Mosh Podcast, and we're interviewing Caskets, which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
Let's see what we can do today.
Yes, I didn't even introduce him yet, and of course, Mr. Jason Bailey is here. He's always here.
Of course, I'm always here, no matter the time. But welcome to the MoshCast. This is probably the earliest we've ever done a podcast, but it's gonna be a good one.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the people we're going to be interviewing today, we reviewed their album 2 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't remember.
I think it's 2 weeks ago.
yeah, I am.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We reviewed their album, Lost Souls, right here. Fucking phenomenal record. We all fell in love with the record. We all gave it a amazing rating. I think we all gave it a 10 out of 10, and well fucking deserved. And one thing led to another, and we ended up gonna have a talk with these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt and James from Caskets. What's up, guys?
Claps.
What's up, man? How are we doing? You good?
We're doing good.
Doing well.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Thank you again for having us. We always enjoy doing stuff like this. We've been able to meet people that enjoy his music.
Yeah, it really is an honor. This is probably the biggest we've had on the podcast so far. I'll definitely say right now, because you guys are getting mad popular from these songs. Like all the radio stations over here are playing you guys. Like Octane is playing your guys' music, and it's fucking awesome to see. And I wouldn't know about you guys if it wasn't for our buddy Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, which first and foremost, me and Madi personally got to thank you guys for making that video for us. We really fucking appreciate it.
We really appreciate the help.
Yeah, no worries at all.
All right. So let's talk about what we're going to be talking about. First and foremost, how we usually do this, we usually start off by each of us going around asking questions for you guys, talking about music or pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about. Then after that, we'll go into a little thing we like to call the turnover, which I'll explain when we get to that. And then we'll play a fun little game at the very end, which Madi will explain what that game is going to be. So, yeah, we talked about this a couple of times ago.
All right.
All right. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get things started. I'll go ahead and start things off with the first question. So, the thing I really want to know is with Lost Souls, which is the vinyl I have right here. You guys have a bunch of amazing songs. I'm curious to ask, were there any songs that you guys had written for this record that ended up not making it on the record?
Yeah, I think we ended up writing 15 songs for this album, I think it were. And
That was way more than that one.
way more.
Yeah, we had about 15 finished demos, but we had a good 30, another 15 half tracks sort of thing. So that's what we went into the studio with. Sort of dwindled them down to what we would think would be the best collection of tracks. If you know what I mean. But thankfully, we put all the other ones on the back burners, so they've been pushed forward for demos for album 2 now. So, and I really want to get on the album. I've been trying to get it on I tried to get it on our EP. I couldn't get it on there. Tried to get it on the first album. I couldn't get it on there. So determined to get it on this next album.
Yep, determination is all that matters, man. Hell yeah. And I'm curious, how did the name Lost Souls come to be?
Matt.
Huh? How did the name Lost Souls come to be? Sorry, you froze there for a second.
My bad. It was like a group decision, wasn't it, James? But we knew that we wanted to like bring all the songs into like one mode, like one feeling throughout the whole album. So we feel like each track on the album like sort of talks or touches upon a different part of the soul, if you get what I mean, like happiness, regret, neglect, stuff like that. So we just thought bringing it all in together is like everyone's like a bit lost, do you know what I mean, in my opinion, soul-wise, always trying to find themselves and stuff like that. So I think a lot of the group of songs sort of touch upon those sort of subjects. So we just thought that Lost Souls would be like the perfect type of phrase to bring it all together into one collection of music, basically. But it was like a group decision, wasn't it? Like we all like, what was it, like 10 ideas each, and then we just like chucked them all into a list, and then we all like went through them and dwindled them down. I think it's Lost Souls was like early on in the discussion, and it just stayed until right till the end. So
yeah, I think it definitely the title of the album also helps bring the community together, knowing that people can relate to the songs, and come together and listen to them and just feel a part of the community. And that's why Lost Souls is now a Facebook group for members that want to get in contact with or just to make friends, really. So I think it's been a brilliant name for the album, and for it to lead on to a fan page where other fans can meet others now is brilliant.
Yeah. That's an awesome thing. That's always something I've loved about you guys. Is like you always try and connect with your fans because your fan. I met a couple of your fans. Your fans are fucking amazing, and just it's cool that I love it when bands do that, where they connect with their fans and connect with their community, because the fans helped make the band even bigger. And again, you guys are getting bigger right now, and now you guys are coming over to the United States finally, and
I can't wait for that.
I'm sure. And so yeah, Madi, would you like to ask the next one?
Okay. So when we reviewed the record, I think the song that kind of stood out to me the most was Final Say. That has to be like my favorite song off the record. I kind of have a two-part question. What was it like to sit down and write that? Because you don't really see many artists or bands, and I have said this in a lot of reviews for bands that talk about a subject like this, you don't really see a lot of that. So what was that like to kind of write that and put it on the record?
And
so, I always get told, like, I with the after idea of lyrics, and then I'll take that to the boys and we'll work on it all together. And they always say that my critical is that like my lyrics are too on point sometimes. So I like have to hold it back and stuff like that. So that song is like very emotionally driven, do you know what I mean? And it's a very touchy subject, as to say. And I think it's subjects like that aren't spoken about or looked at properly within music, do you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like I wanted to write something like that. It's not that I've like everyone has, turmoil in their relationship with their parents most of the time and stuff like that. And like I have too, like everyone, but it's not a reflection of my personal relationship with my father or anything like that. Though we have a group of us in the band have seen loads of friends and other members of family going through this sort of stuff. And like I said, I wanted to write something like that because, in my opinion, when you write stuff that's really on the nose and really to the point, like that's what I'd want listening to a song. Do you know what I mean? Rather than pussyfooting about like a subject or whatever, just go straight into it and be honest about it. And that's why I think that song's done so well, because it's so raw but real. You know what I mean? So yeah, like especially when I'm on my own in that like frame of mind, like writing songs, it can be like a very, very, very lonely place. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure loads and loads of songwriters would agree with that. But it was hard, man. Like, and it's even harder, like trying taking something that's so emotionally driven. That, you know, the theme of that song. It was hard to take that to the boys and try and. I had to like open myself up a lot. Do you know what I mean? Let down my guards a lot about my words and stuff like that. And the boys like take that on board really well. And we work really well together, and I think that's why. But yeah, like the lyrics to that song were a lot more like on the nose and a bit more heavy than what they actually are. Like we had to draw the lyrics back and sort of rephrase a few things, because they like talking about this sort of subject. You've got to be really careful of how you word things, because obviously you don't want to upset anyone or anything like that. So yeah, it can be very like, it can be a very sad, lonely place, man. Like writing lyrics, I guess, but it's a part of the gig, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd rather spend 6 hours working on a verse that's absolutely ripping your heart out than spend 6 minutes on a verse that you don't really care about. Do you know what I mean? Whether you think people are gonna like it or not. Like, to me, I don't want to write a bunch of shit just for the fact of it, you know, being a song for people to listen to. I want to, I want people to feel the words and feel the music. I don't just want to be another band that just writes, you know, songs. So yeah, I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's always really tough, like talking about parental issues, and no matter what you are, like you guys talk about that subject in that song, but also it also really reminds me of North Lane, because North Lane talks about subjects like that all the time. Marcus Bridges. We reviewed their album Alien, which was very centered around Marcus's upbringing, and that also was a very deep episode when we reviewed that a couple days ago. And so it always blows my mind that bands and artists are willing to, I guess, talk about that in song form and like tell their fans like what actually happened, like what's going on in your mind. And that's something I've always appreciated about you guys, because you guys have always been honest with your music, and that definitely shows on this record. So
I think that's one of the good things about this genre of music, is the fact that a lot of the bands that write music are talking directly to the fans about stuff that they feel. A lot of the bands in our genre are very honest with the fans and the lyrics that they write. I think when you stray off into other certain genres, you don't get that as much, which I think the community for the hardcore and the metal is absolutely brilliant.
absolutely, it's fucking amazing. Yeah, we're all a family, and we're all here for each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%, dude.
Yeah. Jason.
So what were you guys' influences to start a band and make music?
All got completely different tastes. It's so weird. So for me, I obviously like my metal. Weirdly like country as well. Quite a few of us in the band like country, but that's obviously not an influence towards his album. But for me personally, drum-wise, and for the songs that we're writing, I listened to a lot of Architects and I Prevail. I think Spirit Box's new album is probably one of the best albums from last year. Absolutely brilliant. So there's some huge influences for me. But Architects probably are the biggest one for me personally.
But what made you want to join a band? There's loads of drummers that drum that don't ever want to join a band. Did you just want to be famous, dude?
No, it's so weird. So what got me into drumming was I went to see an ABBA cover band years and years ago as a child, and all I did was watch the drummer. So that's actually what got me into drumming. And then my dad showed me all of his old records like Led Zeppelin and AC/DC. And to be in a band, I think as a younger person, I really just wanted to be on stage performing in front of people. It's something that's always been a part of me ever since I started playing.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh, shit. You're telling me you don't
No,
like
so we all like he's right, like we all have like very varied like interesting music, do you know what I mean? So we tried to bring like our biggest influences and that's where the sound started coming from. Yeah, like I'm really my background is like mainly like pop punky sort of music and mainly acoustic. So I didn't like really even get into a band until I was like 20 or something like that. And absolutely loved it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? Like at the start, I didn't have a clue. I had no like personality, no stage presence, shy as anything. Like the worst type of frontman you'd need in a band. But yeah, we just like Benji's like really into his synthwavy stuff and stuff like that. Chris loves country. James loves Oasis and indie music. Yeah, and I like so it's like we like it's like metal-y, soft pop metal-y type of music.
I guess he froze, or
Oh no.
Everyone's
Oh, it
frozen.
seems like it.
oh,
there
there
we
he
go.
is.
There we go.
There we go.
Everyone's screens froze for a second. Can you repeat that last part, Matt? Like everyone
Yeah.
had different tastes.
So, yeah. So everyone's like got different varied tastes in music, so we wanted to try and bring all that together. Like, and I guess that's where like the sound started to be built from. So yeah, like I really struggled when I started with the band because all my vocals and stuff that I used to write was all in like major keys and stuff because it was all like acoustic, really pretty flowery music. And then like going into Caskets and it's like everything's minor or augmented and stuff like that. I really struggled to create like vocal melodies that fit the music because it's like anxiety-induced music with like flowery Westlifey vocals like on the top, and it just sounded crazy, dude. So yeah, I struggled for a while, and it took a while to like get into it, but we gelled really well eventually. And we've got like a sick like method now of how we write and stuff like that. So yeah, we've like really grown as a band.
Absolutely. AJ.
All right, guys. Do you guys have like a dream like tour? Like, who would you like to tour with, like in the future, if you had an opportunity to do one?
Well,
Is there like a
answer this
specific
one,
like to tour with?
Huh?
I
Is there
can
like
tell you
a-
back straight away.
Dude, mine would have been like mine would be Linkin Park. Like
Yeah.
Oh, my heart.
Probably at the heartstrings, man.
Oh,
like but also Fight Star. Like I have like so, and they're like the first band I ever saw live and stuff like that. So like to talk that would be like fire like melting every day.
Sorry, I got a notification on my screen. So if any of y'all heard that, I apologize. My weekly report was now available. Who gives a shit about a weekly report?
apparently your computer.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I got the notification on my phone, and then it just translated I have an Apple computer, of course, because they go together. But anyway, I'll go ahead and move on to the next question. So going back to the record, one of my favorite songs is the opening track, The Only Ones. And Matt, I'm just gonna say your vocals are absolutely fucking beautiful on this song, especially in the chorus. It's so fucking powerful. So I was really wondering, like, what is like the meaning behind The Only Ones? Like,
So the only ones like started. I lost a friend a few years ago. So like the songs, I started writing the song about him and about like all the stuff we went through and stuff like that. But then when I took it to the boys, it sort of like took on a life of its own. And like it sounded like the demos were like quite different to how the final version of The Only Ones come out. But it's basically about, when you have that certain type of friendship or relationship with someone and you feel like there's that unbreakable bond, and then somehow like that can be totally taken away from you through no fault of your own or them. You know what I mean? So it's basically about like trying to come to terms with something, with like a situation like that happening. Basically realizing that you were the only one who understood the pain, but now there's only me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just about basically realizing how much you care for someone or love someone, and then going through the turmoil of coming to terms with losing them or losing, or you know what I mean, coming to terms with losing them, and then trying to find love for yourself, to obviously like keep moving forward. So yeah, it kind of took on a life of its own, but it's still a very like emotionally impactful song for me because of where it started. Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah. Yeah. And is that a song you guys will be?
And that was the first song that we recorded on the album. So I went in so hard, banging my voice out so bad that we had to take a full week off.
Oh no, man! Holy shit! So
Yeah, dude, I properly
I can
went in on
remember
it.
hearing that finished product for the first time, and it seemed to be the obvious choice for the opening song on the album as well, due to the intro and the outro. That's something that as producer Dan Weller added to it, and it just completed the song. And I think it leads into the album really well, knowing what you're going to get from the album and what to expect. And I think with what Matt was saying then about the story that he wrote, the music video obviously can show a different story, and the lyrics are pretty open-ended. So a lot of the fans can get something completely different from a song that we wrote, meaning something else. But we just love it when people can relate to absolutely anything that we do.
I love that when you write a song about something and then someone comes to you and be like, I love this song because I relate to it because of this, and it's not in line whatsoever with the reason why you wrote the song. But then when you think about it, how it affects them, it's like it still makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I love that especially about The Only Ones and Hopes and Dreams. I think that'd be another one. You could take so many different ideologies away from it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Manny.
I do want to touch upon what you just said. I say this a lot when we review records, because some of us will have different interpretations of the songs. And that's kind of one of the things that I love about music, is that you can interpret it in any way that you see fit, like relating to it. And I just love that. But I think my next question would be, if you could have any vocalist feature on one of your records or EPs, whatever, which vocalist would that be? Would it be just one, many, or?
That's Matt.
That's such a hard question. I really don't know, to be fair. I love Charlie Simpson on track, obviously. I'd love Courtney LaPlante on a track. you wouldn't at the minute. But screaming, like the scream is insanely good. But yeah, every time I get asked this, I normally go to if I had to pick one person out of anyone, it would have been Chester from Linkin Park.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Brilliant. I think for me, I'd love to be able to hear Matt's vocals with a female artist. There's obviously Courtney LaPlante who can do screaming and singing at the same time. And just for me personally, I love Hayley Williams, so I'd love to have Hayley Williams
You guys
on
made me
any
really
song.
happy. I love that woman so much.
Yeah.
Oh, new music from Paramore's coming this year, and I'm so fucking
so excited.
Yes, I don't know what to expect from the new record. I'm hoping it's
Lots of
good.
guitar from what I've heard.
Yeah, lots of guitar from what I've heard, actually. Yeah. Yeah. So, Mr. Jason Bailey.
So if you have a few spots on your set list to do some cover songs, what songs would they be?
Mine would probably be an MCR. I don't know what maybe Famous Last Words or
Yeah.
I love that song.
I mean Black Parade.
Helena.
Yeah, Eleanor. Yeah, probably
yes.
Eleanor actually.
Yes.
That song, that chorus, like the best chorus ever written, in my opinion. Chorus in that track is insane.
It's unbelievable. God, I wonder how you guys would like would you try and mix your own sound with that song, or would you try and do it exactly like the original?
I don't know really. I mean, I wouldn't want to change much from it just because it's such a brilliant song. I think anything that Matt sings on it's gonna give his own sound to it anyway. So I think it would sound quite a lot different with Matt singing it. But yeah, I wouldn't change much from it anyway. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I completely get that. AJ, you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Hold on. Oh, what? Like, okay. If you had to play like at a bar, like any like bar, and like if you find a band out there, who would you play with? To be honest.
Oh, so like what local bands would you like to bring on tour? I guess you could say.
Yeah, something like that.
Local for us.
Yeah,
People
local
around us. I'd say the scene for us around Leeds and Sheffield area that we live in. I mean, you can't really call them local bands anymore, but there's Bring Me the Horizon. We'd love to do something with them. While She Sleeps, who I just went to see last night as well. So yeah, I'd love to play with Bring Me, obviously, because they're from around here, and I think they've not really had a bad album in my eyes.
Oh, that's a big call. I think that's a big call, me.
You know, well, Ammo weren't great, but everything else, the newest album, were unreal.
Oh yeah, Post-Human. So good. What about you, Matt? What about what bands would you like to like? If any local bands that you'd like to like play a show with for you, Matt?
I wouldn't say they're local, but there's a band called The City's Ours. They're from like further, like they're like from London area, but they're a really, really good band. They're good friends of ours. You should check them out if you've not heard them. They're really good. So yeah, I don't know if we've actually played a show with them before. I'm not sure,
No.
but I'd love to get on stage with them guys. They're like really nice guys, really super talented. Like super talented. So yeah, it'd be sick to play with them. But yeah, like the only like bands that are like really local to us are like Sleeps and Bring Me the Horizon. Off the top of my head, Can't really think of any other ones. There's
I'd
probably
have to-
absolutely. My brain sucks. So.
I'd have to
Yeah.
Ollie, the vocalist for the City Is Ours, actually filmed our Only Ones music video, and he is a super talented guy. He's absolutely brilliant on the vocals and behind the camera as well.
Yeah, God, that video is fucking awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So, all right, my next question.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can't think of anyone? That's perfectly fine, man. But this next question goes back to the United States tour you're doing with Dayseeker and Holding Absence. I want to know how that tour came to be, because I know you guys have been talking about coming over to the US for quite some time now. I heard it from Kevin's podcast and all that stuff. So when did you, like, how did that tour come to be? Because, you know, Dayseeker's playing their latest album in its entirety on this tour, and Holding Absence is another UK band. They're coming over to the US, I think, for the first time as well. So I wonder how did that tour come to be?
I can remember getting on a Zoom call with his manager, and we'd heard that Dayseeker had heard of us, and obviously we really like their music. And he basically said, "We've got an offer through. Would you like to do it?" And everyone were instantly like, "Yes!" Like we would do anything to get on that tour. So to be able to play with Dayseeker, because the new album's absolutely amazing, and then to go over there with Holding Absence as well, who are good friends of ours, I think it's going to be a really fun tour. And to be able to actually get over to America is like a dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope Kevin keeps his promise. First round's on him. So.
Yeah.
Shots, man. Shots.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin.
I froze like really bad then, so I didn't hear any of that question.
Oh.
It's all right. I nailed it.
I was talking about
No,
I was talking about the US tour with Dayseeker, how that came to be. Oh no, he left. Okay.
Okay.
No.
Hey,
He'll be back.
yeah. Wait a couple seconds. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, when I saw that tour and I saw your guys' name on there, it was like, fucking finally. Finally, we're getting Dayseeker to the not Dayseeker, Caskets, and the fact that Holding Absence is coming as well. Like, I was a huge fan of The Greatest Mistake of My Life, their last album. And I was just like, these three bands fit together so well. I can't remember the band that's playing after you guys. Like, but
Thornhill, I think.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Australia. Good band.
really good band.
But yeah, we got to know Holding Absence just through his manager, and Dan Weller, who produced his album. He also he did their previous two albums, I think. So yeah, there's super nice guys, and yeah, The Greatest Mistake of My Life is such a good album.
Yeah, it's super, super good. I don't think it's as good as Lost Souls, but
Oh,
that's not a shot at Holding Absence. I fucking love you guys, but
they're amazing dudes.
they're awesome. And anybody here in the United States that plans on going to the Dayseeker tour, get there early to check out Caskets. Like, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Madi.
Oh boy. I have two more questions. I guess I'll go with this one. If you have a go-to karaoke song, what song is it?
Oh, yes.
I did this. I did karaoke last weekend actually, and I always do "The Greatest Day" by Take That. It's like a big pop band from over in England. That's like my go-to song every time on karaoke.
That's a fucking embarrassment, dude. That is.
It's so good.
I can't believe you just told the whole world that, man.
Damn.
No.
You're out the
You
tent.
don't like Take That, right?
Take. Oh no, dude, no. My go-to is not any better, to be fair. Definitely. Life is a roller coaster, Ronan Keating.
Mate, I did.
James, you know, boy.
Mate, I love that song. Oh God, I did that when we had like a university reunion. A couple of us friends got together and we all like wore suits and went out for some drinks. And we ended up at a karaoke bar. And we ended up pulling chairs onto the stage and we'd sit down through half of the song. And then when the key change came, we all stood.
No way. No way.
Oh man,
choreography, job lot.
Yeah.
that's amazing. God, I kind of want to see that now. God, I gotta go to karaoke bar with you guys.
We need to go to a karaoke bar after this gig and get James smashed.
Yeah.
So he can do this song. I need to get this
Again, Benji may be a brilliant songwriter, but that boy cannot sing to save his life.
Oh, bless him.
God, just imagine going to a karaoke bar and you just hear James just singing "Patience" by Take That.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Oh man, I'm just trying to like picture that in my head. That's holy shit.
imagine James and Benji smashed singing Take That together. Okay.
Really?
That
not
would
saying
be
that.
that would be gold, like to catch on video. Fuck, that'd be gold.
Well, actually, I think it was first year of being in the band. Me, Chris, and Benji, we went out for a couple of drinks and we went to a karaoke bar. And I wanted to do The Greatest Day, but I didn't want to get up on my own, so I asked Benji to come up. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know lyrics." And I'm like, "Don't worry, once the song starts playing, you'll know it." And he literally just stood there with a pint in his hand all the way through while I sung it.
Is that the one? Is that the one that got filmed?
Yeah, we were all wearing the same t-shirts.
Dude, that video is hilarious. Hilarious. They're both stood on stage and like James is singing his heart out, like smashed out his face, and then like Benji's like the stepdad that doesn't want to be there but has to be there. He's just like pretending to like sing, wasn't he? And then eventually you're just like, no, and just walked off. Like, stumbled off. Oh, dude, that was so funny.
You're on your own, bud.
Yeah, basically.
God, that's fucking amazing, man. Oh, just imagine the karaoke bar stories we'll hear after the Dayseeker tour. Holy shit.
Dude, we need to get some karaoke bars, 100%. It's been a while, dude.
Karaoke machine on the tall van bus, whatever it is.
God, if you bring Kevin to one of those karaoke bars, he'll sing
God.
He'll sing Rise Against
Oh no.
3 hours.
Yeah, he would sing right here.
Yeah, just like right when he goes on stage. It teaches me not to know this, but I've all been. Oh man, hey Kevin again, but yeah, that's God. That was a great question, man. Holy
you.
shit. All right, Jason.
So,
I'm crying.
what are your guys' plans for the future of the band?
Get rich or die trying. No.
Oh.
That's my life goal, to be fair. Not to the band, but just for me.
Damn.
Damn.
I don't know. I'd say just to grow the band and see what happens. Obviously, we've got album 2 in the works. That's plodding along nicely. And just to see what the crowd's like in America, obviously. Well, we're hoping that gets us more fans as well and more gigs. It's just continuously progressing as a band and trying to grow it, because obviously we've had COVID for the past 2 years, which hasn't helped us at all. So it's nice to see that even though we've not been able to gig for the past 2 years, His album's had such a great reaction. That means that hopefully now we can gig and release another album. We should keep on growing. But I think that's just an aim for all of us, just to see what we can do and make it as... I think it's everyone's dream to do the band as full-time, which unfortunately we're not able to do at the minute. But yeah, everyone in the band just wants to make a career out of it.
Yeah, I don't think it won't be long before that happens. With the way Lost Souls is going, you guys are gonna be doing this full time in no time.
Fingers crossed.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I hate my job.
Yes, man.
Sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to gig really. Like the band's grown like a lot over lockdown, over COVID and stuff like that. But obviously, only in a digital sense. Do you know what I mean? We've not had that opportunity to go out and do as many gigs as we want, and that's how you grow your fan base the most, in my opinion. And it's the main reason why I'm in a band. Do you know what I mean? I love gigging. I love playing shows. So we're really proud of how well we've done over lockdown, which is a bit weird to say, I guess. But yeah, the idea now is just to keep plodding on with the demo album too. Do this American tour and then just hopefully just keep gigging. I want to get as many shows in it as possible over the next year or so, because I want to even that. Like the numbers online, Spotify and stuff are really good, but I feel like the crowd that we could pull at a gig is not in line with that. Do you know what I mean? And that's because we've not played barely. Like what we played, fucking six gigs in nearly 2.5 years or something. Like we've been out of the gigging game longer than we've been a band, if that makes sense. We was like gigging for like 10 months or something, a year, and then lockdown. I've done 6 shows in like 2.5 years. So yeah, we just want to get out and gig our asses off.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely the plan for every fucking band for sure. Because like it's been 2.5 years since COVID hit, and then touring is now becoming a thing again. Thank the Lord. And so yeah, like all these big shows are happening. Like hell, Neck Deep did a US run with Boston Manor last year, and I didn't even expect that. I was like, are UK bands able to come over to the US at the moment? Because I know COVID was bad for bands in the UK and like the UK people at that point. So I guess they just got lucky, maybe. I don't know. And I'm a big Neck Deep fan, and so
I think at the minute it is a lot easier to travel around America, because obviously you get to America, that's one country and that's it. You can tour there. There's no borders or anything like that. But when you start going into Europe, they've all got different restrictions for each country. So I think it's just a really good option for them to be able to play lots of shows, because obviously America's so big, and not be restricted as much, because it has been pretty impossible to travel around Europe at the minute, especially to the English season with Brexit and COVID. It's pretty hard.
Oh, Brexit. Oh, I just want to try and forget Brexit exists.
Yeah, man.
I think AJ had to leave. I think he has. It's Saturday. He can't have school.
Sunday.
It's Sunday. I was going to say AJ's messaging in the chat.
That
Many
guy's
days.
hilarious.
God, I forgot it's. Oh yeah, I forgot it's Sunday. It's been a long week. I forget what day it is. So
That's cool, man.
yeah. So since AJ's no longer with us, rest in peace. I'll go ahead and ask my my last question for you guys before we get to the turnover. You guys coming over to the US, and I bet you guys are planning on doing more shows and more shows after that. So think about like if you had like a big festival performance, which I bet festivals are definitely a goal for US. So imagine this. You guys are headlining, you got the main stage, no budget. What would the stage show for a headlining Caskets festival show look like?
Bigger than Rammstein's.
I think we'd want a lot of flames, A lot of petals. We'll fire petals out of all the cannons and stuff like that. I don't know really. Like, I'd obviously love a huge stage production, but I don't want that to take away from the band's performance. I'd love flames. Obviously, watching Joey Jordison growing up, I'd want to do one of them solos where he spins round. So yeah, that'd be it for me.
Yeah, epic drum solo with a spinning drum set. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do like pyrotechnics and stuff like that. It'd be cool to like have a bit of like choreography on stage, like dancers and stuff, depending on like what type of like, you know, obviously what we're playing and stuff like that. But yeah, like James said, I'd not want anything. I'd not want it to be like absolutely stupid. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd rather people remember the performance rather than, you know, everything around the performance, if you get what I mean. But yeah, the idea, like, I'd love to do some pyrotechnics and like some massive like explosions and stuff, like that'd be cool. Like, I'd love to get like, you know, like when you pin up like thousands of balloons and stuff like that, like above the stadiums and stuff. I'd love to do that, but on a stupidly big scale. Like that'd be awesome. Like, it's raining petals for like fucking 20 minutes.
That's a good I kind of want like maybe have like this like life size in the background.
Like dummy hands, dude, and just drop all that.
Awesome. Yeah, because like I like that idea of like the dancers, because Bring Me the Horizon have dancers, like background dancers for their shows now, which like that like sounds crazy when like you say that out loud. It's like Bring the Horizon as backup dancers, really? But like it really works.
And a lot now, don't they? Like, they're going all out now. Bring Me.
Yeah, like their production is insane from what I saw, because they came to the U.S. for one show, and that was for Knotfest. But they are coming back to the U.S. later this year. So yeah, when we were
talked about the cover, the card on the front cover, it's actually Chris's bassist and his girlfriend's hand on the front, because Chris actually did all the artwork for the album.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Chris' hand in Emily's hand. Yeah.
Wow, that's, man. The more you know, the more you. We need the fucking NBC thing. I'll edit that in later. All right, Maddie, what is your last question before we get to the turnover?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Julian was about to say my question in the last one, but he didn't. So if you could play any festival anywhere, whether it be one that's still around or one that's no longer around or whatever, so like US, UK, anywhere, what festival would that be?
For me personally, I'd have to go with Download, just for the people that are there. I've never actually, but everyone seems to say that everyone gets along, everyone's friendly, and they always go and check out any band that's there. So I'd love to play Download.
It's got to be Download, man. Do you know what I mean? Especially in England, like it's the biggest stage that we'd be able to play on. Like Leeds and Reading would be cool, like, but Download's the ultimate goal for any person in an alternative band. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they've started like seeing like all these mad festivals that you guys in America are getting, like, and they just look absolutely fucking insane. Like, so like, it'd be awesome to get on like a decent festival in America. Like, that'd be a dream come true. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, January presents. Hook them up.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, get them on Rockville and Louder Than Life and Aftershock. For sure.
Give it us all, please.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, ooh, I kind of like the idea of you guys playing Reading Festival. That'd be kind of interesting. Playing main stage. Like, I forgot who's headlining this year. I think, isn't Liam Gallagher headlining this year? I can't remember.
Yeah, we've got like 2 stages now, so there's 2 headliners for each day. It's really weird.
Right. Yeah. But
It's greedy, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. All right. And Jason, what's your last question?
So my last question is, for anyone that's watching this video and wants to start a band, what advice would you guys give them?
Oh.
Be committed, want it, be confident in your own ability and what you're writing. You're writing something like don't question what you're writing, because what you think is a really bad idea could be like an incredibly amazing idea to someone else to start a song, something like that. So be humble, be generous, be positive, and enjoy the ride, man. That's the biggest thing to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then there's no point in doing it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I'd say that's pretty spot on. I mean, just keep on going. I mean, I know all of us that are in the band have been in many bands previously, and you've just got to keep going. If you want it, you will end up getting somewhere where you want to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So any
absolutely.
bands, any band, up and coming bands, take notes for sure. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to a little segment we like to call the turnover. We do this with all of our bands, and we like asking questions to the bands, but we like to turn things over. We like to give them the power. So so now the questions can now be asked by you guys. If you guys got any questions about us or for us, like about oh, how did you get into the band? How did you first hear about us, or whatever, really, any questions about anything.
Okay.
I know you've been creating your all-time favorite albums, and I think you said we got into your top 20 or something like that, which is pretty crazy.
Very true.
I'm wondering what your top 5 albums were.
Ooh, a little spoiler for the stream next month. I like it. I have no problem at all listing those off. So, here they are. So, Caskets are Lost Souls are in the top 20, but the top 5 at the moment, because again I edited this like a couple days ago, but the top 5 hasn't changed in like months. So number 5 for me, Master Puppets by Metallica.
Ooh.
That's my all-time favorite metal album. Number 4 is The Black Parade.
Oh.
Like him.
Yes.
You cannot go wrong with that one.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Number 3, Meteora by Linkin Park.
Oh, I ain't listened to the album in so long.
Yeah. I know a lot of people will say Hybrid Theory, but I have Hybrid Theory. It is in the top 20, but I actually, no joke, Hybrid Theory is right below you guys.
Nice.
What? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure the Linkin Park fans are going to sacrifice me for saying that, but I'm not afraid. Number 2 is 1X by 3 Days Grace.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then number 1 for me is Toxicity by System of a Down.
Ooh. That's a filthy album, that is.
I can't say I've listened to that album all the way through.
What?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
There were never bands that stood out to me. Obviously, you got the big ones like Chop Suey and Toxic, whatever it is. But yeah, there were never a band that stood out to me.
Oh.
Right.
So you
Nearly said
guys
electricity, fucking Pokemon.
like live close to each other then?
Ooh, do we all live close to each other?
Yeah.
I live in Missouri, and Madi and Jason both live in New York. Like a good percentage of our
New York
podcast.
City.
It was from New York.
I'm from NYC.
So how
Coming to
did
the show there.
this come about then? Like this podcast and stuff. How did?
Oh, you want me to take over, Jason?
Go for it.
I've been on the podcast since day one. I was on the first episode of the MoshCast. Was originally started by an original member who I will not mention because of very ugly things happened with him, and he became a horrible, horrible person.
Okay.
So, yeah, he was in the podcast for about a year, and then like February or March of 2021, he left. And by left, me and Jason, we kind of kicked him out because things were getting very heated between him and some of our members, and we just didn't want to have that negative energy with the podcast. And
yeah, for sure, man, that makes sense.
But yeah, like early on, it was just a weekly little podcast where we talked about latest news and rock and metal, and and then we talked about our favorite metal bands and concerts we'd like to see. Because this whole podcast started because the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because we had absolutely nothing to do, and like that was my first time ever getting into podcasting, and like that's how. And then I ended up going on a pro wrestling podcast that's where I met Jason, and then And then as time went on, Jason, Josh, Lucas, and all of them ended up joining the podcast. And then we ended up recruiting Madi. And then funny enough, like I think it was like the first episode 12 or 13, we started doing the album reviews. And the first review we ever did was for Lamb of God's latest album. Ooh. And then after that, it just kind of took a life of its own because the views for that episode did really well. I was like, what if we did this permanently? Because obviously we were still going to do the interviews because we got in like a couple bands. We got Throw the Fight for an episode and a couple other different bands. A bunch of bands Kevin actually got on, and we had Kevin on a bunch of our episodes because he's been one of our main supporters. But then, like when, He Who Shall Not Be Named left the podcast, me and Jason took over the podcast itself.
Yeah.
And I think me and Jason can agree, this podcast has grown so much better.
100% agree.
We took over because we are very respectful of one another. We know what everyone likes and what everyone doesn't like. We always try to make sure everyone picks an album to listen to. It was like, oh, I want to review this because we go back and listen to a bunch of different albums. We don't just do new releases. Occasionally, I mean, we reviewed your guys' album a couple weeks ago, even though that album came out in 2021. But we always try to make sure we get to a certain band. Like I've introduced these guys to many, many bands. I introduced them to Conquer Divide, which we had on the podcast late last year. Mm-hmm. And now I just got them into you guys, and now here we are talking with you. So it all really just took on a life of itself because more and more people started joining, more and more people wanted to be on. And so that's kind of how it came to be. And it's been going strong for the past 2 years.
It seems it, man. It seems like a really good little community that you've got going on. Do you know what I mean? People especially through lockdown, people were, what's the word? This sort of these podcasts and stuff is what we're getting people through days and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? People's podcasts, we're going nuts through lockdown, which shows the impact that this sort of stuff has been having on people, you know what I mean? And as well as that, you're not only introducing your peers, but everyone else in the world to new music as well. Do you know what I mean? So you should give yourself loads of credit, dude. You're helping a lot of people out in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? So take some credit.
Yeah, and then if it wasn't for those album reviews, I was like, I kind of want to try some stuff on my own, and then my Instagram TV album reviews started coming about, and then I started doing other videos, and now I'm on freaking TikTok doing a bunch of weird stuff. Like my post yesterday was just stupid, mainly because I just ran out of ideas. But yeah, just the fact that this all grew to become we always try to make sure this is a very positive and welcoming community, because that's been the plan since day one, for me at least. Because the original person that was in charge of this, he was not as welcoming. He always tried to make sure everything was a lot more strict with him in charge. I always try to get the fans involved. I always try to get the audience involved, and he wouldn't. Because we've gotten requests from many, many people to do give this album a try or give this album a listen, and he would not listen to them, because apparently it doesn't fit his style of music that he likes. But when we kicked him out, it opened up a giant door, because we've listened to multiple albums from multiple genres. I mean, hell, we reviewed both of Stormzy's albums, and now see, and I fell in love with Stormzy in 2020, and then I got Jason into him, and then we reviewed like Dua Lipa, we reviewed The Weeknd, we reviewed so many different stuff, but yeah,
So good.
so fucking good. And that, but yeah, the core of this podcast is mostly rock, metal, alternative, punk, all the stuff in the rock genre, but we're not afraid to expand outside of that.
Of course.
I've got another question. I was wondering, what was the first gig you've ever been to?
Ooh, first concert I've ever been to. Ooh.
Chair.
Wait, Matt,
Yeah, I kind of forgot, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
been
I
a
was
long
like,
time since
I was
I've been to
5
one.
years old. That was my first ever concert.
that's an awesome show, Maddie.
Oh, well, I mean, I was little. Like, I had, like, a wig. I had, like, an outfit. My mom took me there. We made hats. She caught her hat, and she wore it. Like, it was a whole thing.
Man,
That's cool.
God, I want to see a picture of 5-year-old Maddie in a
Oh,
shit.
God.
But the
think
next
I actually
concert-
have photos.
Next concert I do want to see is Slipknot in May, since they're coming here to New York.
Because
Yeah.
Jason hasn't been to a concert, actually.
No,
Well, it's been a while, actually.
It's been a
Soon,
while.
soon, man.
Julian.
Sorry, you opened up that door wide open. I couldn't help it. But God, 5-year-old Maddie to share out. God, Maddie's probably thinking, man, if I could turn back time. All right.
I thought we were going to get through an episode with no puns or no references. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, even with special guests, you know, we have to throw in a dad joke in there. But God, for me, my first concert, regrettably, was Skillet.
Oh,
It was Skillet with a bunch of different Christian artists. It wasn't Winter Jam. It was them with a rapper named Toby Mac and another Christian rapper named Lecrae. And it was like Skillet was the only good part of that show, and that's not really saying much. But in terms of rock and metal, my first concert I saw was Shinedown and 3 Days Grace. They were doing a very special show in 2015, and this was like right when their first album with Matt Walsh came out, and I fucking love Matt Walsh as a vocalist. I know people have different opinions on Matt Walsh, and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, 3 Days Grace isn't 3 Days Grace without Adam," but like Adam's got his own band, Saint Asonia, now, and I've seen them live, and sounds better than ever. But like, it's still Matt Walsh is keeping the band alive, whether people like it or not. But yeah, that was my first time. I was going mainly for 3 Days Grace, but then I ended up falling in love with Shinedown, which MoshCast has a very fun history with Shinedown. we reviewed one of their albums, and it got very weird.
No.
yeah.
I'd say
I remember that.
my first, like, I don't want to say metal, but of that realm was Warped Tour. Best
Oh, okay.
festival or whatever that I have ever been to. I had such an amazing time. I didn't get to go to any others after I went, which sucks, but I had a great time to the one that I actually got to go to.
That's
Yeah.
probably like one of the festivals that we'd have loved to have played in America. Like Warped Tour would have been insane.
Oh yeah.
I heard not long ago something about apparently the guy that runs it was thinking about bringing it back, and then COVID happened. So maybe in the future.
Yeah, that was supposed to, he was actually thinking of bringing back the Warped Tour, but he was thinking of bringing it back under a different name.
Yeah, because legally
okay.
they can't bring it back or do anything with it until next year. So
Yeah, 2023 is probably going to be the year where a Warped Tour style festival tour will come back, because that is a plan. Because Kevin Lyman said that is the main goal for 2023, because that's not the only touring festival coming back, because the heavy metal world has another touring festival called Mayhem, and that's going to be coming back next year. They just confirmed that, because when Warped Tour left, there were no touring festivals going around. And so now that When We Were Young festival, which take that any consideration you want, that style of like music and the lineup, that shows that people want that style of like shows touring back. And with the amount of bands that they've got, that shows you that anything's possible. And a show and a tour like that will sell out.
100%, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still like the music from. I feel like we've not really progressed that much since like 2010, 11 musically, especially in our genre. Everything's sort of like stayed the same, if you know what I mean. Like the emo scene is like still fucking huge. Do you know what I mean? And the post-hardcore scene is still huge, which is like really unusual musically because everything just normally dies out eventually. Do you know what I mean? And gets taken over by something else. So the fact that it's still going strong just speaks volumes of how like committed fans are to that type of music and keeping that style alive, and also the musicians for still wanting to be that sound. Do you know what I mean? Like Bring Me the Horizon are like not that anymore. Do you know what I mean? And so many other bands could have done the same and didn't. So I think it shows like the realism and the actual heart that people have for this type of music. And the fact that it's still going strong, like is amazing. And the fact that We Were Young festival, like they're all like bands from when I was a teenager. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, and that's like gone nuts, that festival. Do you know what I mean? So it just shows how much even younger fans are still loving like the older MCRs and Fallout Boys and stuff. So yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that shows you that that style of like the emo scene, the post-hardcore scene, it's not going away. You know, whether people want to say that style is dead and it's been dead for years, it's not gonna fucking die unless we say it.
There's definitely a resurgence of it with I mean, Avril Lavigne's getting big again. There's that Willow Smith who went alternative. Travis Barker seems to be taking over the music industry completely. So I think
genre hardcore.
Big thing.
Yeah, and then we have Machine Gun Kelly in the.
Oh God, I've not heard. Someone told me like his new song is. Someone said, "Dude, it's the biggest piece of shit I've ever heard in my life."
It's so bad.
I haven't checked out yet.
It's so bad.
Tickets to my call is not worth the listen.
Just save yourself the trouble. Don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I'll have a listen. A couple of the songs on his first album were all right. A lot were terrible, but I think he had some decent ones.
Yeah. I will admit that their Tickets to My Downfall has some gems, but like the majority of it was just yeah, that's one word to describe it. And we actually reviewed that album in 2020 because
I was there for that.
Not me.
Yeah, because of the person that used to run this podcast.
Oh, right, okay.
And we all enjoyed it. I mean, seriously, we all fucking marked out for Machine Gun Kelly that so hard that year. But man, that album does not hold up. And I just listened.
It did not age well.
That episode.
I don't think it's the fact that a lot of his songs, some are good, some are not so great, but I think someone of his caliber bringing rock into a lot of people's lives who've never really had it is very good for the rock and metal music industry. I think that's what's helped with Avril Lavigne. She seems to be getting really big again. But yeah, I appreciate what he's doing for the music industry. I just wouldn't say it's my cup of tea.
Yeah, I can agree with that to an extent, but except he's making fun of Slipknot for being 50 years old wearing masks on stage, and he's making fun of bands that he went on Warped Tour with that have been around for 20 years for wearing comfortable shoes.
Guy thinks he's a fucking rock star, and it's just...
Yeah, there's a reason why he wasn't booked on When We Were Young Festival. And I just listened to his song recently with Willow, and Willow is the only good part about that song. and I love Willow. I love this new version of Willow. I think it's absolutely incredible. Her last album was fucking beautiful. But MGK just ruined any type of credibility that song could have had. But yeah, let's not talk about MGK because we've given him way more time than we've ever should have. You guys got any other questions for us at all?
When can we next?
Ooh, when can we chat next? Anytime, really.
Yeah, whatever.
Anytime. We're open.
Another album.
Let's say I hate this phone.
Like every day, I hate this phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when were we down to chat again? Anytime you guys.
Anytime, really.
Yeah, whatever.
If you guys want to come on to our podcast and listen to some music,
It's fun, man. This has been fun. I like this. We should do it.
Yeah, and that means a lot to us. That means we're doing something.
No, yeah, man. You're fucking killing it, dudes, honestly. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our last segment, which is our fun little game. We always do this with our guests and our favorite bands. So, Madi, what game are we going to be playing with Caskets today?
We are playing This or That. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. So, I mean, I came up with some bands and some other fun stuff. I don't know about the other two, but, you know, just a fun little game to end it off. So, Jason, if you want to go first.
Okay, this or that. Metallica or Green Day?
Green Day.
Green Day. Oh, I said that as I'm wearing a Metallica shirt. Green Day.
All right. Okay. All right. I got a nice one. This might I kind of want to stir up some stuff. Let's see how many people I can piss off. Two of your up and coming touring buddies, Dayseeker or Holding Absence?
Oh, Holding Absence.
Right now, Dayseeker. Right now, that will change over and over and over again. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we're pissing off someone. Madi.
Yeah, dude.
This one is a tough one for me, but I want to just get this one out of the way. Bill Murray or Beartooth?
What?
Why are you shaking your head at me,
The
Julian?
answer
Do you
Bill
not know my
Murray and the
username?
Beartooth.
Beartooth.
God.
I'm gonna go Bill Murray.
All right. Bill Murray or Beartooth?
Julian, you know my username.
I know that's because of your username, Bill Murtooth.
Yes.
That's her tag name. Okay. Okay, this one is outside of music. Horror movies or action movies?
Oh. It depends. Like, I don't really like the boring copy and paste horror movies, where it's just so obvious. But I love a brain dead actor.
I love that.
Any film with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart in. Dude.
Yeah, but just for me, it's anything with Dwayne Johnson. I love Dwayne Johnson.
That was that Central Intelligence last night.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's such a good movie.
Not last night, sorry, the other night. Yeah, it was so funny.
Yes. All right. Jason, you got one?
So, Korn or Slipknot?
But not 100%. Can't stand Con.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Honestly, every time I hear it out at if I go to a rock bar, I'm just like, right, I'm gonna bar.
I'd say Slipknot. Yeah. It's close for me though.
Hell yes.
All right. Madi?
First of all, Julian, you stole my damn question because anyone that knows me knows I love horror, so I was gonna ask that damn question. I guess I'll go to another music one. Wage War or The Plot in You?
Oh, jeez, these are so hard.
Damn.
The Wage for me.
They're so good in different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard.
Come on, Matt.
They're plotting you
Ooh.
right now.
Okay. Man, I like this. All right. I got another horror movie one. Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger?
Freddy.
Oh, really?
Freddy.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah.
It's all about that cool map.
Fuck's sake.
All right. I think Maddie was gonna have another horror one as well. I think that was the question as well. So sorry, Maddie. But Jason, what about you?
All right, so it's gonna be Bring Me the Horizon or Linkin Park.
Oh, dude, Linkin Park.
Um,
That's another good. That's another good one there.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm gonna have to go Bring Me, just because I've listened to more of their albums.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
ridiculous! Come on, dude.
All right.
I don't get it wrong. Like, I do prefer the singing from Linkin Park.
You said it now, man. I can't take it back now. You said it.
Mm.
Oh no.
Linkin Park, fucking disgrace.
Just as
Honestly.
good. He's one of the best vocalists ever, but I just don't like Linkin Park's music as much.
Oh
Well,
man. Band.
that's fine.
Oh shit! I think we just started some band turmoil. Shit.
Do wait till next band practice.
Yeah, I've got drumsticks. I've got weapons.
Oh my god.
I will throw my at your face.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
Oh my gosh.
Turmoil. Okay. I guess.
Drumsticks. So much more.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with this one. Okay. UK rappers, Dave or Stormzy?
I've never heard a Dave song.
Yeah.
So Stormzy, yeah.
Stormzy, yeah, Stormzy.
Okay. Oh, going back into the more UK music realm, Neck Deep or Don Broco?
Oh, neck deep for me.
Neck deep.
Neck Deep.
You're stealing my questions.
All right. That means I'm doing my job right.
Well, I'll do this one then. Neck Deep versus Hot Milk.
Neck deep.
Yeah, neck deep.
Damn.
Okay.
Good band though, Hot Milk.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. Jason, what do you got?
I Prevail or Rise Against.
I Prevail. I really want to see them live. I've never seen them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, I think they just picked that. I Prevail.
Okay, now we're going to the legendary UK bands, the Beatles or Led Zeppelin?
Oh,
Who? Sorry.
The Beatles or Led Zeppelin?
Zeppelin.
God.
Zeppelin any day of the week.
My dad's gonna hate me because like John Bonham's like one of the big influences, but I'm gonna have to go Beatles because I like more of their songs. And I've just watched that documentary on Disney Plus as well, and it got me back into them.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I just saw the documentary last night. That was a really good one. Okay. Scream or It? Back into the horror genre.
It, I really, really like it.
Yeah.
I missed that. Sorry. Say that again.
It or Scream?
Ooh. Scream.
Yes.
There's a new one coming. There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, the new one already came out.
It's out,
last
yeah.
month.
Where's it out? Oh God. So behind.
Bitter.
All right. Jason, you got one?
Just the last one I got is Ice Nine Kills or Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore.
I Stand
Love that
Kill. I
band.
think Silver Scream was amazing. That album was so good.
I agree.
Agreed.
Maddie, not a word. She hates the Silver Screen.
I
You
don't
out.
hate the Silver Scream. I don't hate it. It's just the newer one is way better.
I would say the complete opposite.
I gotta disagree respectfully.
Five.
I mean, I have one. Marvel or DC?
Damn it, that was my next one.
Marvel for like the certain universes, but then I'd go DC for like the Dark Knight
Batman.
trilogy.
Same here.
The newer
Yeah.
stuff. The Batman looks amazing. The one that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for that new Batman.
Dude, you can only pick one, man. Pick one.
Ah.
Pick one.
Yeah, fine. Marvel.
Okay.
Right answer.
Oh, boy.
All right.
That's so. You know, I'm a dirty nerd.
Okay. This is a good one. Festivals, download or renting?
Download.
Download. Okay. Vans or journeys?
Vans.
What's Journeys?
Not as good as Vans.
It's another like punk, like pop punk, like shoe, like
Ah, never
line.
heard of it. Fans.
Yeah, one of the workhorse stages was the Journeys stage, so that's where I got that from. Okay, Maddie, you got any more? Because I'm taking over mostly.
This is a specific year for two different bands. So this is 2010 of Mice and Men or 2010 Attack Attack.
2010 of Mice and Men.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
I was never a big fan of Attack Attack, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
Sorry.
Don't hate me.
Oh, we're listening to it in 2010. Oh, we're obsessed with Ask Alexandria at that point.
Oh yeah, boy.
I guess that leads me to my next one then. Bring Me the Horizon or Asking Alexandria.
Bring me the horizon.
What, back in the day?
No, like in general.
In general.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, bring me
Yeah.
the horizon.
That's the right answer.
I think the Asking, I stopped
Yeah,
listening to
Asking
them after the second album.
Fell off a cliff after the second album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
I think they fell off a cliff after that 2020 album, Like a House on Fire. Jesus Christ.
We like listened to that with Kevin when we did listening parties. It was so bad.
Yeah. Please take away from me.
I just don't like how like Dad Rock, Danny Warmstop's gone.
Listen, Danny went yeehaw and everything changed.
Oh yeah, he did go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, now
He went to go country, didn't he? Fucking
Yeah.
failed.
That's what I'm saying. He went rar yeehaw, then yeehaw rar. He did
Yeehaw roar.
what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie came up with that.
I did.
Uh,
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, very.
That should have been a scene saying back in 2010. That not just raw, yeehaw, raw,
You
Yeehaw
just
roar.
say
raw.
first album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. Johnny Cash or Elvis Presley?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
I get that. PlayStation or Xbox? If you guys are gamers.
No.
Um.
The girlfriend's Xbox.
Oh. Fuck. PlayStation. But
Dude, you got
I still think 360 is the best console ever made.
I agree. I completely agree with that. Even I say that as I have my PlayStation 2 right over there. Disney or Nickelodeon?
Disney. But I never watched these programs or channels as a kid. Like, I didn't have like
Hardest one
satellite
yet.
until I was 12 or something. So I didn't really have these options that much.
All right. Okay, this is a battle of the Australian bands. Parkway Drive or Amity Affliction?
Oh, fuck.
Partway. Before they went pirate metal.
Okay. Matt, you got any more?
I have a couple. Ice Nine Kills or Motionless in White?
Motionless in White.
Motionless.
All right. Vinyl or cassette?
Vinyl or cassette? Ooh.
Oh.
I know.
Vine.
I love that.
I love-
I think my last one would be, I mean, I have to ask, The Exorcist or The Shining?
Holy shit.
The Shining. I think the direct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, the Exorcist.
I
The
love both
Exorcist.
answers.
Yes. Okay.
I think I could watch The Exorcist many more times without getting bored than I could The Shining, I think.
Yeah, but
I really love that movie as well.
The
I
Exorcist
love both.
hasn't got Jack Nicholson in though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is Jack Nicholson now?
Probably in a
think
Lakers game, smoking a
he
cigar.
stopped acting, and I think he's dealing with dementia, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no
he's
way.
dealing with some mental
Really?
stuff, so he stopped acting. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh shit, that's horrible.
Damn. Oh, this is a very specific one. None of them go together, but this is just a really weird one. Lord of the Rings or the Chronicles of Narnia?
Ooh, Lord of the Rings. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Star Wars or Harry Potter?
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah, 100%. Has anyone been watching
I don't
the
know.
Book of Bob?
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between two shows.
I love both.
I actually shouted at the telly the other day when I watched the newest episode of Book of Boba because I was like, I can't believe it.
There was so much happening, and I was here for all of it. So that leads me to my next one: Book of Boba or The Mandalorian.
I can't. 'Cause I've not watched either.
Oh,
Oh.
Don't hate it.
So far, the Book of Boba's first season's better than the first season of Mandalorian.
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
I have to respectfully disagree because my son is in the first season. Anyone that knows me knows my son
Baby
is
Yoda.
Grogu. I love him. I think my next question, it also pertains to Star Wars. It's kind of between three. So prequels, sequels, or the original.
Prequels.
Originals, Empire Strikes Back.
I have to agree with the prequels. I own all three on DVD.
Well, my next question actually goes in with that. Star Wars movies: Empire Strikes Back versus Return of the Jedi.
Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh.
Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But then I have to say with the prequels, I think Revenge of the Sith is probably the second best one.
Yeah.
That's an essential. Okay. Battle of the TV shows: Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I find zombies really boring. I just don't like zombie movies.
I watched a pilot first season, didn't they? They only did like 5 episodes for The Walking Dead, and I can remember I watched them religiously and thought I thought they were epic. And then by the time season 2 came around, I was just like, I think I watched 1 episode. I was like, this is gonna be the exact same thing for every episode. So I just stopped watching it, and the next thing's like the biggest fucking program that's ever been on telly.
Yeah.
I missed out.
Okay, I got quite a few left, so let's go ahead and keep this going. Spider-Man or Batman? All right. Well, Superman or Iron Man?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man, yes. Oh, Joker or Harley Quinn?
Joker.
Yeah, Joker.
All right. And I'm not just saying that because I go by
That is.
Okay. Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland?
Tom
Oh,
Holland.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, this is the
What do you
battle.
mean, probably?
I don't know. I really like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
You like the really crap ones.
Well, I like the first two. The third one's absolutely todd.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All three are toss.
We get emo Toby Maguire.
I'm gonna throw dirt in your eye.
All right. This is the battle. Are you guys fans of talk shows?
English one. I can't say I've watched any American ones.
That's good because these two are actually English. Graham Norton or Jonathan Ross?
Graham Norton.
Jonathan Ross.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jonathan Ross. It's all about that accent.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for Graham Norton. So, okay, and this is the last one. MoshCast or chord progression podcast?
MoshCast. Every time I said, oh, we're going to get battered for this, dude.
The first round's not on.
I had to talk with such certainty as well. He's going to kill me.
He's going to be like, get your shot.
Oh.
What a bang, man.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all in good fun. Well, but yeah, this was absolutely phenomenal. Matt, James, thank you so fucking much for talking with us. We've been talking about this for the past couple weeks, and it's finally actually happened, and it still feels so surreal that we were actually able to talk with you guys. So,
Yep, absolutely.
Dude,
we like to end this off
You're absolutely welcome
to come back for sure. Definitely welcome to come back.
So nice. I think the chemistry you've all got together makes the podcast work, and it's made us feel at ease all the way through. So it's been really nice.
Thank you.
It's been...
Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and end things off. We like to go around, tell everyone where they can find us, what we like to do. Jason Bailey, go ahead and start things off. You know what to do.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Subscribe and like and check out the band.
Absolutely, Madi.
I mean, I really don't know what else to say. I had a great time. Honestly, this is probably something I've wanted to do since like I got into the music I got into, because I would watch like all these band interviews. So having this happen is like pretty surreal. And I appreciate you guys coming on and talking with us and having a fun time, and hope to see you guys come on again. Yeah.
Absolutely. And for me, Caskets, you guys were absolutely incredible. This was an absolutely fun episode. Everyone out there, go check out Lost Souls. Go stream it. Buy it on CD. Buy it on vinyl, wherever you can get it. Go support these guys. Go follow them on all their social medias. Go see them on tour wherever they are in a city near you. And yeah, Caskets, thank you so much for joining us. Matt, James, it's been incredible talking with you guys. I think this is probably one of my favorite interviews that we've done on this podcast. Yeah, I'm so excited to see you guys live whenever that may be. And yeah, just thank you so much for coming on. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. And just to let everyone know, Caskets' new album is out right now from Sharp Tone Records, and in a couple months, they'll be heading over to the U.S. with Dayseeker and Holding Absence. Tickets are available now. Tickets are actually selling out very, very quick for this tour, so if you can get your tickets, get them really, really quick, because this is a tour you do not want to miss. So from myself to Jason to Madi, thank you guys so much. And as usual, you guys can find us all our social medias will be in the description below. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram, HeavyMoJoker_HOH. Go follow me, Madi, and Jason on our other podcast, Cinematic Analysis, where we review movies. And go check out our buddy Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. We like to shout him out as much as we can, because he was a giant help in making this podcast what it is today. So, yeah, from myself, Madi, Jason, and Matt, and James, you're in for a mosh, and thank you for watching. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.